Hey, peace and blessings to you. My name is Jere B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. Thanks for tuning in. Again, we try to put these videos out and just discussing the mindset and the discipline of what it means to be an EntreMusician. Believe me, it goes far beyond your instrument. And so if you are that person who goes over and above, whether you're the band leader, whether you are the person who is booking the gigs, the person who is paying the band, scheduling the rehearsals, maintaining the recording sessions, doing most of the songwriting, copywriting, producing, whatever that is, that you go further than the rest of the band, then you are labeled as an EntreMusician, and we are very pleased to create this space for you. Please visit the EntreMusician.com. That is the place where we engage, encourage, and empower fellow EntreMusicians like you and I. All of our videos, as you well know, are sponsored by Vocal, which is the only beverage on the planet designed to soothe, refresh, and restore your voice. During these next video segments, what we'll be doing is taking the opportunity to discuss the EntreMusician and your band. In previous videos, we've talked about the business setup, you and your team, your financial planner, your attorney, etc. But really what we want to do is take some time to really discuss the band. I've been in band since like the 5th grade, my first real band with Tyrone and Chris and Craig and John, and we got together and put our instruments together and formed a band. And I've been in and out of bands, and what a complex animal a quote-unquote band is. So much so, I'll even say this at the beginning, that's probably why, that's more than likely why you see so many solo artists, because for the solo artist it's different. It's the solo artist, whether they are an instrumentalist or a singer, and then they have musicians behind them. But as far as divvying up the pot, as far as the decision making, as far as the vision and the purpose of the artistry, is really rests on the shoulder of the solo artist. And they don't have to deal with a lot of the components that come from bands. But most solo artists emerge from band situation, some to their chagrin, because it's like, wow, what a dynamic. This is what I wanted to do. And I hear it all the time. I've even said it a time or two, is that, man, if I only known this about this person, or this about that situation, or, you know, if they could have only seen things my way, then this wouldn't have happened, or whatever. Fill in the blank. You know what I'm saying? But what we're going to do is we're going to take the opportunity to talk about the dynamics of a band, because in my heart and in my spirit, a true band that's really kicking it, and there's only a couple of bands that are out there that are really making it happen. I will say Pieces of a Dream is still out there kicking it as a band. Mint Condition is still out there kicking it as a band. I'm sure you can name several others, but basically we are in the aura of the solo artist. So let's talk about the EntreMusician and your band. The first thing that needs to be discussed, because a band, most of the problems arise at the very beginning, and you don't know that you're cooking up a problem. You really don't, because what happens is Harry calls Sally, who calls Joe, who calls Paul, who emails and texts Bobby that there's this band that's going to be performing, and so Harry is having an audition. And so Harry holds this audition, perhaps, or maybe Harry knows these other people in the band. He's known Sally from a different dynamic, and you know, they've gigged before, what have you. And so he and they perhaps have pulled together these group of musicians, and they get together in a setting, and so they start jamming, and it feels good. I mean, the vibe is on point. Everybody knows, oh, do you know that song? Yeah, we were, you know, out in LA and we played that song. Or when we were in New York, this is the way they do it. They do the same song, but, you know, or, you know, they add a little go-go down in DC. Whatever the thing is, that first session feels really, really good. Everybody walks away feeling like, yeah, this was on point. So they come back, and you can be back on Tuesday, cool, Wednesday, whatever it is, they come back, and that feels equally as good. So the first thing that happens is, yay, this is what's up. This is what's up right here. At that moment, everybody knows that Harry called the band together, but nobody discusses anything. And in this moment, these 5, 6 people, could be more, could be less, but they all feel equally that they have a voice, an equal voice, and that they have an equal vision of where this band should go. Okay, so they come back to what's going to be that first meeting. They may discuss potential venues they might play. They may discuss potential songs they may do. Are they going to be a cover band? Are they going to be an original band? They may discuss the name of the band. They may discuss the colors that they're going to wear, all of these different things, but they never really discuss organization. Why? Because everybody in their own mind knows at that point that they have an idea, and nobody at that first meeting, trust me, nobody at that first meeting really wants to ruffle the feathers or ruffle the waters, because things feel good and this feels better than that last band. Or man, the way the drummer and the bass player locked in, and the way the guitarists and the keyboardists were not fighting each other, providing room for the saxophone player. Whatever it is, it felt too good. So maybe I'll just keep my cards close to the chest as far as what I feel the vision or direction of this band should go. And let's just let the vibes lead us right now. I'm telling you, that's bad. That is not the way. What should happen in that first meeting is there should be that strong conversation, whether it comes from Harry or Sally or Bill or Joe or whomever. We should begin asking the questions. How is this band going to be run? Is it Harry's band just because he pulled everybody together? Is Harry the right leader for the band? Will Harry be setting the schedule, the agenda, the precedent? Will Harry be booking all of the gigs? Or are we going to parcel those responsibilities out? Because that is very, very helpful to know up front. Is this a cover band? Is it an original band? And whose songs are we going to be doing? We're going to have another video. The reason I'm laughing is because we're going to have another video on that. Whose songs are we doing? Are we only doing Harry's songs because I write too? Is this a collaboration? Is Harry the leader, or is this a democratic process where we vote and majority rules, and Harry is okay with that? Because if it's, 5 people and it's 3-2, right? Or it's 4-1, and Harry happens to be the one, although he's the one that pulled those first rehearsals together. You understand what I'm saying? What is the dynamic and what is the organizational structure? These are things that are key in that first meeting that you have to ask yourself. Secondly, with regard to that, let's just say it's leader and sidemen. Okay, but now does Harry have the connections? Does Harry have the clout? Does Harry have the bank account where he is able to write checks for whether it's expenses that are needed immediately? Is there an agreement where he is paying the band to come to rehearse, or is he paying the band for those promotional gigs that they're going to kind of have to do until they get their name out there? So I mean, these are the questions and these are the discussions that need to happen in that first meeting, because as I said before, as it generally happens, is we let the vibes take us, we let the music take us, and then nobody really answers those questions until there is a need for them after something really has happened, where everybody has these presuppositions that, Harry was going to take care of everything, or because we voted this way, that's going to be the actual reality. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to have the strong conversation up front. And after having the strong conversation, after establishing what your organization is, then you can move on to the other things. So that's kind of what we'll be discussing: vision, purpose. We're going to be discussing the pros and cons of the cover / original band, other things as well, because there's so many nuances to the dynamics of a band. I just felt we should take a few videos to really talk about it. So thank you for joining me today. We want to feature an entree musician, as we do on most of these videos, and today I want you to check out the artistry of my brother and friend Marlon Saunders. Marlon is not in a band. Marlon is a solo artist, but he is absolutely dynamic. We won back in 2006, something like that, where we won the Soul Patrol New Artist of the Year. And grateful to Bob Davis, Kevin Amos, and all from Soul Patrol. And we did so graciously. That was my first time meeting him in Philadelphia. And, we just hit it off, and we put out 2 great albums that year. Praise God. That was fantastic. And so from that standpoint, we kept in touch and was able to collaborate on a tune called Just Think from Sound Doctrine's Inspire CD back in 2010. He wrote amazing lyrics and amazing melody to that song, and it continues to vibe even now. So Marlon, man, a much love to you. Check him out at marlonsaunders.com. He is the ultimate. He was on Bobby McFerrin's Spiritual CD. Excellent CD. This is what I'm talking about. Entree musicians who get together, who collaborate, who learn from each other, who are able to engage, encourage, and empower. That's what we do at the EntreMusician.com. We want you to like this video, subscribe, share, call everybody, text everybody, and say, hey, there's something growing here at the EntreMusician.com, and you want to be a part of it. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and we're going to discuss some more band stuff, okay? My name is Jere B. I am the Entree Musician, and so are